Good morning everybody, welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video right here on PENGU. Wanted to make an update. I covered this a couple of days back when we had a lot of momentum, and I mean at this point of time PENGU still has quite a lot of momentum. Especially this morning, although I'm not certain whether it's the momentum we'd like to see. So that's why I wanted to make a video. Obviously had a massive move in the weekend, and that brought us all the way up to the previous highs we made at the beginning of May. Which not a lot of altcoins can say, and if you take a look at the volume right now, you can still see, although it has decreased a fair bit, it's still very high. I mean, you can see the PENGU volume right now in the last hour is higher than Solana, right? So that tells you a lot. However, it's what's happening, or at least what you can see right here, if you take a look at the chart, is that we had a huge move up. With a lot of volume, right? The second highest volume we've seen, you know, in months, especially also after that huge momentum on Saturday. But it looks like a little bit of a liquidation move, right? And a move like this, it doesn't necessarily have to be true, but a move like that can very well signal the top, or at least the local top, right? Because I think that PENGU actually has a chance to rally up higher here on the higher time frames. I should delete this, it's not that relevant, but I think it can certainly rally up higher on the higher time frames, into 2 cents, for example, maybe even 2.5 cents. I mean, you got to dream big, and I quite like the project, to be fair. However, it's starting to look more likely, especially after this move, but we'll get to some other details in a moment, which I think you need to know. And it's starting to look more likely that we're first going to get a drop into these imbalances that we left, which we left quite a fair few of, before consolidating, and then potentially later getting that move up towards that level at 1.75 cents and 2 cents, right? So yeah, but because what you can see, I mean, if you take a look at the footprint chart, I mean, PENGU left so many imbalances to the downside, and not only fair value gaps, but also, for example, a single print right here at 1.25 bundled up with a fair value gap and a naked point of control. So you have this big imbalance area. Beautiful drawing. But then you also have multiple fair value gaps here, multiple fair value gaps right here, and naked point of controls much lower. So all of those imbalances, look, they most likely will not all get filled, right? I mean, it's a fallacy to say that, you know, an imbalance has to be filled. They don't always have to be filled, and they don't always get filled. But they do work as a bit of a magnet, right? And then if you combine it with a move like this, markets are actually quite strong, to be fair, but if you combine it with a move like that, it's going to be very, very hard for PENGU to come back for this. Now, from this. But the wild card for PENGU is one thing, and that's this level right here. Because the volume is still so high, and because the markets are still quite strong, I think it could turn this move into a rally up higher. However, the main level we need to be looking at is 1.5 cents. Alright, that's the value area high of the price action since Sunday. It's a psychological resistance level. If we are able to reclaim that level, 0.015 with volume, and we're able to hold that, then I think this was just one two-sided shakeout, and it's actually more likely we're going to go up to 1.75 cents. So this is a possibility, given the markets, given the volume. Do I think this is most likely? No. I think it's more likely that we will reject there, and that we will start to feel some imbalances to the downside, where that level at 0.0125 and 0.012 is my first target. But those are my thoughts. Let me know if you're interested in more PENGU updates. Very interesting crypto to keep an eye on and to analyze. But those are my thoughts for now. So thank you for watching. I'll see you all in my next videos, and bye.